How's it going, everyone? John Cope again from Cope Racing and Transmissions. Welcome back to the channel. I'm just building a transmission here going to Alaska, of all places. And I want to touch base on a couple things with you to let you know a few changes we made for 2026. But before I get into that, I want to show you this trans. It's a big block 727 with my reverse manual valve body. Going to Alaska. And I know what you're going to probably say, John, I thought you're not doing transmissions. I haven't. It's been what? Since I decided to concentrate more on parts. And that decision was really based on not finding good, qualified, responsible help. So I just decided that instead of trying to knock out all these transmissions, just concentrate on the parts. The parts was a really good part of the business. It always has, and it's just grown year after year. Our Black Friday sale was unbelievable. It really was. So I want to thank anybody and everybody who purchased it. It's starting to snow. Check this out. The sun's out and it's starting to snow out there. I don't know if you can see that on camera. That's lake effect snow that we get from Lake Michigan. When you can see some blue sky and the sun reflecting from one side while the clouds are over here. How is your guys' winter over there? I heard you people in the south got a little cold and a little snow. I'm used to it. So anyways, to get back to what's new, what we're gonna do, and I some of you may already know I put a couple things out there, a couple shorts, some information on the Cope Racing Trans website, on the Cope Racing Trans Facebook page, and the YouTube channel. I know when I was a teenager, I worked in Hammond after my dad closed his store, which I begged him not to. The first place I went to go work at was a place called Master Transmissions in Hammond. And that guy had 3 shops. He had one at Hammond, one at Crown Point, and I think one in Gary. And then the same family had Calumet Transmissions, which was also in Hammond. And I was 18, 19, and I was at R&R Transmissions, and I met this kid, Joey, who was, and he was younger than I was. I think he was 16, building it. I don't know if it was a 904 or 727. I think it was a 904. Building a 904 at 16 years old. I thought to myself, man, this is awesome. So I walked over there. I'm like, hey, I go, how did you get on the bench so early? And you're younger than I am. And he said that, oh, my uncle owns a business. I'm like, oh, okay, I can see that. So I hired Joe. Joe has been in the business just as long as I have. And he's also has never done anything else but transmissions like I have. And he really has it in his heart. So Joe is going to come here, and me and him are going to start building some transmissions together. And we're going to kind of start off small. And I got all the transmissions listed. He can do some 6 speeds and 8 speeds very, very well. So I put those up on the website along with the 518 4 speeds and the 727 904 3 speeds up on the website. And it's all listed in horsepower rating. Okay, so whatever your horsepower is, you can go there. You can pick out the transmission that you're interested in. And then when you click it and open it, you will see that it has a complete list of every single nut and bolt that goes in there along with the price. You will notice whenever you're looking for transmissions, let's just say Jegs or Summit or whatever, or whoever you go to when you look for transmissions, they just tell you it's a big block 727 and it costs X amount. What comes in it? Who's building it? You don't know. You don't know the guy who's building it. You don't know what parts are coming in it. Are they using red clutches or GBZ clutches? Are they using stock clutches? Does it have a bolt-on sprag? Does it got a drag sprag? You don't know none of this stuff. My website is very detailed, and it says on every single nut and bolt that goes in that transmission, so you know for that price exactly what you're getting. So keep that in mind. The biggest question that I got back to me from the few people that did see the listings on my website of the transmissions is they're all priced with no core charge, because I can remember knocking out transmissions when it was very high stressed. Part of the problem was finding the units. So on my weekends and days off, I'd be hitting the swap meets and buying up as many transmissions as I can. And that in itself was a job. So I do have some cores, but I use a lot of these cores for parts and stuff. So what I'm going to try, and this is going to be, this is something I'm going to try. We'll see how it goes. Most cores are about $500. Big block 727s and 46 REs are definitely in that range. 904s and small blocks 727s are probably half the price, like $250, $300. Anywhere in the Midwest to ship a transmission, let's say if you're like within, I don't know, let's say an 800-mile area of the shop, I can probably have a transmission shipped in for about $200. So if you're too far away to where you cannot bring an exchange unit, then we can ship a unit in. And how I like to do it is I have enough units to where I can build a unit, whatever one you want, have it ready, sitting here. And then when you come from your location, you can just do an exchange. Trying to do core charges and me supplying the transmission, it's just going to be adding too much to what we're doing. I kind of don't want to get into that. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm going to try it. I know a lot of people like to come here and visit, and now that I got help, I'll be able to take the time and I just, like this one here I got right here, the camera sitting on it is going to Alaska, and I did supply this gentleman the core, and I can't be doing that. I got to have a core. So back to what I was saying, if you're from wherever, most Mopar guys, okay, most of us have transmissions or cores laying in our garage at home, or we have a buddy that has one. So it would be a load off my shoulders if the customer, which would be you if you're interested, would order the transmission and then do an exchange. So if you want a big block 727, you're going to bring me a big block 727 core, and we exchange. This way, I can build that transmission for the next guy who wants a big block 727, and so on. And same with the 518s. I think the 8 HP70, I'm going to just keep local for right now. Same with the 45 FREs. I'm going to just do that local, and we're going to see how all that pans out. I do know that those transmissions are a little bit easier to find core-wise. I did some looking around on Facebook Marketplace, but it's still, there's one an hour away, there's two a half hour away. It's still me not being at the shop working. It's me being in a truck out looking for cores. So I'm going to give it a try. I know some people do it the other way, but this is what we're going to do. So that's how the core deal works. So if you live close enough to a state to me where you can drive and order a transmission and say, John, I have a core. And I just did this for a guy that I don't remember what state he was from. I don't know if it was Michigan or Wisconsin. He ordered a 727 small block, but he came here and he had a 904 for an exchange. Well, I wasn't too happy about it, but I have to have the transmission that you're purchasing. I certainly wouldn't have done that if that transmission was a big block. But I'm trading a small block for a small block, even though it's a 904. I have to have whatever it is that you're purchasing. So if you want a 518 or whatever it is you want, that has to be the transmission that is going to be purchased. Also, if you race guys, I have about, 20 or so transmission cases here, the SFI cases and bell housings, on order. I'm still waiting for these guys to get off their butts and say, they'll be here soon. I noticed that we were talking January, which is now February, and I still don't have my first batch of cases, my first batch of 25. So I don't know what the deal is, but I'm hoping it'll be soon. But back to my point, if you guys that have already purchased SFI cases and you want a unit built, get a hold of me, and I can offer those services for you. So I ordered the cases. I'm hoping they'll be here this month. They were supposed to be here last month and they weren't. So if you want a transmission built with an SFI case, I can do that for you. Anything else I'm forgetting? I think that's about it. Also on those SFI cases, I will need a core too, unless you buy everything brand new. But boy, would that be expensive. Billet shafts, billet planetaries, billet drums. That'll be, I don't know, that'd be very expensive transmission. But anyways, you can get a hold of me. You can email me at coltracingtrans@aol.com to inquire about it. I feel that Joe and I reconnecting, and I've known Joe. He's worked down not too far from here for the last 14 years, I think, and I would see him quite often. So we were in contact, even though I met up with him like 14 years ago. We figured out by talking who his uncle was and that we knew each other when we were teenagers. He's a great guy. So I'm really, really excited to have someone else that their skill level and their craftsman and workmanship is at my level or possibly even higher than me. He's an awesome dude. So I think he might be a little camera shy, so I don't think you'll see him on camera. But that's our announcement. Go to coltracingtrans.com. You'll see all the transmissions listed under assembled transmissions on the right hand side for the product menu. So I think that's it. If you guys got any questions, inquiries, whatever, either put it in the comments or email me or give me a call anytime after 4:30 Chicago time is usually when I go in the office and I check all my calls. When I come in at 9 o'clock, I print the orders. I come in the build room, boom, and I'm working. And I usually don't answer the phone. My wife may. She takes some messages and leave one on the phone. I will get back to you. I will. So thanks for checking in. I'm really excited about CRT and where we're going. I'm kind of excited about, building a few more units again. I'm going to still keep it somewhat not crazy because there's been a nice, pleasant calm here at the shop where we're busy, we work hard, we get our stuff done, but it's not living the rat race. we still enjoy life. We still, you know, go out and do car stuff now and go out and spend time on the lake and stuff like that. So it's been really pleasurable. And I think when things are nice and calm and running smooth and I got everything really good here, that I think it makes for a better product. I certainly know I ain't as grumpy as I used to be. And I know a couple of you guys probably got I'm sure there's been a few that got the grumpy ass of me when things were going nuts, and I apologize for that. I could be a grumpy fuck, but I haven't in a while. So, all right, I'm going. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Mopar to ya.